hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So, our lecture today is titled North South Dialogue. That is the North South debate, or what some people call dialogue. Okay, now the North South dialogue is most times in the form of tensions and disagreements. Now, the third one, expect a greater degree of special treatment, than industrialized countries have afforded them. Now, the demand was expressed comprehensively in the new International Economic Order, which is new, and the Charter of Economic Rights and Duties of States promoted by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, that is UNCTAD, okay, in the 1970s. Although the charter was never accepted by the developed countries, and is now dead, the political, economic, and social concerns that inspired it, are still present. Now, let us look at the concept of North. The concept of North. Now, if you talk about the concept of North-South divide or dialogue, that is the issue of North-South dialogue. Now, in the North, the North that is actually represented in that caption, let us try to conceptualize it. Let us try to unravel the meaning. What is the concept of North? Okay, now according to Charles 2004, page 200, the North is regarded as the composition of countries within the northern hemisphere, particularly countries considered to be within the Eurozone. Okay, according to Aja Koraja 2002, page 163, the concept of North is used to represent the industrialized countries who have greater geopolitical concentration in the northern hemisphere. The architecture of the North is economic strength. It is a zone of plenty affluence. Now, it is the technology workshop of the world. Example of the North is Central and North America, and of course the European countries. Okay, now they are the ones that are actually referred to as the North. The North simply refers to the Central and North American countries, as well as the European countries. All of these countries actually constitute the North. Now, let us look at the concept of South now. The concept of South. Now, the South represents the vast majority of non-industrialized and emerging countries found in the southern hemisphere. The architecture of the South is economic weakness. It is a zone of poverty and underdevelopment. According to Aja Koraja 2002, the South is a scene of widespread deprivation and poor quality of life index. About 77% of the world population live in the South, yet they produce 15% of the global GMP, while 23% of the people live in the North and command 85% of the world's wealth. Now, the South comprises of 3 continents of South America, Asia, and then Africa. Okay, now let us look at the concept of the North-South debate. Not concept now, rather, but what is this debate about? What is this debate about? Now, this debate, let us look at it. Now, it is good to note that in a world market system dominated by the application of science and technology in productive activities, which is competitive, the South is in persistent crisis of development and underdevelopment. Now, the following are the demand of the South. What are their demands? What is their debate? Number one demand is that the South wants restitution for the economic and social costs of colonialism, racial discrimination, and of course, foreign domination. Not forgetting slavery. That is number one. That is slave trade. Number two, increased development assistance, to the third world countries. Number three, transfer of technology to the south. Number four, debt cancellation. Number five, internal control of the operations of multinational corporations in the developing countries. Number six, central planning against free market. Number seven, replacement of the Bretton Woods institutions, which have benefited only the West, with a mutually beneficial international financial institutions. All of these put together are the summary of the demand for a new international economic order. So, all of these actually put together, summarized in the demand for the new international economic order. That is NEO, NIEO, NEO. Okay. Now let us look at the response of the North to the demand by the South. What is the response of the North to the demand by the South? The North has refused to accept and support the call for NEO on the following grounds. Okay, they have refused to accept the call for the new international economic order on the following grounds. What are those? What are their reasons? Number one reason is that the development they give to the third world countries is enough to transform its economy and atone for the perceived injustice in the past and present economic relations, if any. Okay, if any. That's number one. Number two, the North also argued that even if they were to compensate the South for transatlantic slavery and colonialism, who should the compensation go to? That is the question that they are asking. Who should the compensation go to? They asked, is it to the third world countries who sold their countrymen and women into slavery, or to the descendants of the ex-slaves who are now domiciled in their ancestral homes in Africa and Asia? Number three, the industrialized countries of the North also argued that corruption, bad leadership, and political instability are major banes of third world countries, of third world's quest for sustainable development, other than the prevailing international economic order. Now, let us conclude by saying that now, in summary, therefore, having faced strong resistance from the North, the South has actually tried to promote their development through regional blocs aimed at fostering greater political economic cooperation and integration. Okay, so what has happened in the South, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, is that they have resorted to forming a political economic cooperation and integration so that they can actually foster their development from such kind of integration and cooperation. So that is exactly what has happened over the years. Thank you very much.